Continue. Okay, awesome. All right. Hi, Enrique. My name is Yaslin Alonso. I'm the graduate intern for Financial Wellness Program. And a little bit that I do is that I do lead the initiative for undocu-friendly coaching hours at USP. And then real quick, a few things that Financial Wellness Program offers. We offer three types of services. One thing is the workshops. We also have online education and individual coaching hours. And because of the whole pandemic, we are offering virtual coaching hours specifically for undocumented AB 540 students, Mondays from 10 to 12. And then I'll go ahead and let Ricardo introduce himself.
Thank you. Hi, Enrique. Good
Hi.
morning. I'm having a
Good
good
morning.
day. So I do want to do a quick little introduction. My name is Ricardo Ramirez. I'm a student staff for the Undocumented Student Program here at UCLA. I'm a fourth year majoring in psychology. So this will be my last year and last quarter here at UCLA. Just a quick few things of USP. We do have our services are catered specifically for the undocumented community here at UCLA, and we provide various resources such as legal services for you and your immediate family, wellness support, uh, drop-in hours, and snacks, and so much more.
And then Sarah, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, Enrique. I'm Sarah. I am the Financial Wellness Program Director. And I've been with the program for a little over 5 years now. And I'm really impressed by the ways that students from USP have really reached out to learn more about financial well-being and the intricacies of the dream loan and how to be best supported financially by the university. So I'm very excited for the hard work that Yaslin and Ricardo has done to put this presentation together for students, because it can be a little complicated and a little scary to navigate what this all means. So thank you for being here this morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have. Okay. So how this is going to work is Ricardo, he's going to talk about the first half, touching on what is a dream loan, the terms of the loan, and what you can do while you're in school. And then I'll touch on the second half on like the different types of repayment plans and additional resources and updates regarding COVID-19. So without further ado, I will let Ricardo take the hand.
Yes. Give me a second. So we do have one student joining real quick right now, and we just want to give her like, oh, there you go. Hi.
Hi, Karina.
Thank you for. Oh. Hi, Karina.
Hi.
Thank you
Hi.
for joining us. So we're about to start and go ahead and start the presentation soon. If you have any questions, just type it in the chat box.
Thank you so much.
So you can go ahead and start, Yaslin.
Oh, Ricardo.
Uh-huh.
Do you see it?
Oh, there you go. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is a bit slow right now.
Okay.
So just to give a quick rundown, what is the California Dream Loan? So this was it's a California Senate bill that was passed in 2014 December, Senate Bill 1210. And since it was passed in 2014, it was first made available for the class of 2015 and 2016 and currently present. The California Dream Loan is subsidized loans, it's eligible for undocumented AB 540 undergrads. And this is something that, so a subsidized loan is where like you do not build interest while in school, and it's after like you graduate. And so now with for the next academic year, we do want to go ahead and share that this loan was primarily for undergrads only. However, starting the academic year 2020 to 2021, the Dream Loan will also be available for graduate students. So okay, so who qualifies? So now, it's like I mentioned, it was before when it first got established, it was only available for undergraduates. However, starting the next academic year, graduate students as well will be eligible for this Dream Loan. And another requirement is must be enrolled in at least half time. So here at UCA for undergraduates, it was 12 units to be considered a full-time student. However, half time would mean you are 6 units at least here at UCLA. Um, and then uh, also have financial need. Okay, so now if you are considering taking out the loan, what you must do is submit your California Dream Act application by March 2nd. You want to review and accept or put on hold for like future references, your like loans and all the payment options that you're taking out from your EFAN. Um, but as mentioned on the slide, it says, decide how much you want to take out per quarter because you can customize it to have specific amounts each quarter. And then if you're a first time borrower, you will be taking the Dream Loan debt management entrance test. And this is just a one time test that you must do before you take out your first student loan. And then once you do that, you don't have to do it anymore if you ever take out loans later in the future. Do keep in mind though that you will at the end of your like last UCLA quarter or around that time, you will right before you graduate, you will receive an exit loan test as well. And it's just basically teaching you how like interest fees and like repayment options work. So now you get one, and now what? So the terms of the loans, so it's basically the interest rate is fixed to the state's interest rate. And so, like I mentioned before, it is a subsidized loans, meaning you won't pay interest will not pile up while you're in school, and you have a 6 months grace period after you graduate uh, until that fee starts rising up. So yes, how like it's mentioned on the slide, the grace period is 6 months after you have graduated or withdrawn from the university for whatever reason. Um, in 2019 to 2020 school years, interest rate is 4.53, and terms of the loan is you get the limit is 4,000 per quarter. Uh, correction, per school year, and then there's a total amount of 20,000 for all 5 years. Okay, so then just what do you do while you're in school? So from now, you do decide to take out the loan, just focus on yourself, focus on your extracurriculars and focus on classes. We're only here for like at best, at minimum 2 to 4 years. So it's just time to make the best of it, try out, explore new things. Just focus school, familiarize yourself and explore different programs and resources to know how you can take advantage of them. For example, like financial wellness program or the undocumented student program. Um, also another doesn't hurt is just apply for grants, scholarships. UCLA has a scholarship resource center in which you can view this link and then go ahead and like scroll through them and see which ones you qualify to apply for. Immigrants Rising is another great organization that has various programs and support for the undocumented community, and as well as some grants and scholarship opportunities. And at USP, we have our math textbook scholarship and then transportation scholarship. Just a quick rundown for the textbook is just, these are funds they can use to purchase a book that they may need, and then transportation is for commuters or people who need like some sort of aid with like going back home or something like that. And then research opportunities and Undocu Bruins undergraduate research fellowship. These are research opportunities that are available for undocumented students and come in with a stipend. And those cases that it can provide some type of like financial aid for you while being here at UCLA.
Okay. Thank you, Ricardo, for your part. We also just want to say if you do have questions, I forgot to mention this, if you do have questions throughout the presentation, feel free to just drop it in the chat box, but we will also have room towards the end to answer your questions. And so now I'm going to talk about the two different types of repayment options. So the first one is the standard repayment. And what this is that you have payments are fixed amount of at least $50 a month. You do have up to 10 years to pay from your loan, and it is automatic if an IBR plan is not selected. And so by IBR, this is my second one, the Income-Based Repayment Plan. So for this one, the monthly payment is generally around 10% of the borrower's income. If you are married, the income is usually the combined income of both yourself and the spouse, regardless if a joint or separate income tax return was filed. If at some point you have no income, then a $0 payment plan can be established. And all Dream Loan borrowers are eligible for an IBR, including those that are in default or in collections. And for this specific plan, you have 20 years. And so if you are interested in requesting an IBR, you do have to fill out the California Dream Loan Income-Based Repayment Plan and submit appropriate income documentation. And you can find this form on this link right here. And one thing that you have to know about this plan is that payment lasts for 1 year at a time. So you do have to reapply each year if you want to stay with the IBR plan. And so I'm going to just show you how the form looks like. So this is the form that you will have to fill out if you want to have the IBR plan. And this is for after graduation. So I'm just scrolling down so you can get an idea of how this looks like. Yeah, this is the form. So let me see. Okay, so you will need documentation to including the form. So the primary supporting documents are your tax return or your tax return transcript. If at some point you don't have these forms, you can also submit either your pay stubs, letter from the employer, your W-2 form, or your 1099. And then you do have the option to leave the plan. So if at some point you decide that you want to go back to the standard repayment plan, you can do that, but just know that your amount may be increased and the interest will be capitalized if you leave the IBR plan and do not pay the accrued interest. And then just a few updates regarding COVID-19. It was announced a week ago or a few weeks ago that if borrowers who took out student loans from the UC system, you don't have to make payments on it from April 15th through September 30th. And what this means is that the UC is putting all loans in administrative forbearance. So your credit will not be affected if you don't make payments. And then you do have to borrowers will have to opt in to put their loan payments on hold. But again, like if you miss a payment, it will not affect your borrower's credit, And then an additional resource that we all want you to know is that if at some point you have specific questions regarding your dream loan, we encourage you to go speak to a debt management counselor. So this is a collections office, and they are located on the Wilshire in Wilshire, but because of what everything's going on, the management counselors are working remotely Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 4:30, and you can contact them according to your last name. And I've included their contact info here. But that's our presentation. I know we finished a little bit quickly, but we want to give enough time to, ask questions. We also included our contact information, mine and Ricardo. So I'm gonna stop sharing here.
Thank you, Yesline. Yeah, how we mentioned is our contact information. If you want to stay connected, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If any questions, does anyone have any questions? No questions.
I have one. For the graduate dream loan, do I have to be enrolled at UCLA? Yes.
This would also be at every UC though, right? Or is that only for UCLA? Did you hear me, Yasmin?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a little unstable. What did you say?
So for the dream loan, it's even though if you're not here at UCLA, you can be at other UCs, right? So long as it's the UC, or is it only for UCLA?
To my knowledge, I know it's at UCLA. Sarah, do you know if the graduate dream loan would only be for UCLAs or for all UCs?
From my understanding, the Dream Loan for undergraduates or graduates is accessible regardless of what UC you're attending. So UC Santa Cruz has the loan set up, UC Berkeley. Can you repay the loan anytime while you're in college? Yes, you can. You can start repaying anytime. However, we recommend that you take the full grace period if you'd like, because right now you're not accruing any interest. And so we recommend that you take advantage of it because it's not going to be accruing until after your grace period is over, which is 6 months after you graduate or leave UCLA. But we can definitely understand that feeling of having debt that you might owe and wanting to kind of repay it as quickly as you can. So if that is you, and if that is something that you're feeling as a little bit of financial anxiety, we definitely recommend creating a monthly budget and seeing how much you have left over from your living expenses. So even if it's $20 a month, $40 a month, and it'll make you feel better financially to start paying that each month, you can contact the collections office loan debt management officers like Yasleen mentioned, and they can help you set that up at any time.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Karina and Enrique, for asking those questions. Do you have anyone have more questions? We're here for 7 more minutes.
She did mention another one before. Is the dream loan the only one she is allowed to take out?
Oh, yes. At this moment, yes, the Dream Loan is the only loan available to students who identify as undocumented AB 540. Okay.
I'll also say that there are outside loan options outside of the university through different nonprofits. I know that the Jewish Federation is one organization that does offer loans to students outside of UCLA. However, that loan does require a cosigner. So you would need someone who does not have your same address to co-sign on the loan with you. You're welcome. You all are so appreciative. It's so nice to see.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. If you need to go, you have class or whatever, feel free to leave. And thank you for your time and listening to us.
Thank you so much for coming out, for asking questions. We will send out a link to the recording as well as a copy of the presentation. So, of course. Thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Karina. We hope you all have a great day today. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Mate.